Innovation is single-handedly the most important thing us humans ever came up with. Without innovation, you right now wouldn't be able to watch this video. Instead, you would be sitting somewhere in a cave, hoping to find food the next day to survive. Innovation makes our lives easier and leads to positive changes in society, making us much more effective as living beings on this planet. Innovation is a process we can't fully describe. It is something very mysterious. Even though we don't exactly understand how innovation works, there are a lot of common patterns in history which lead to the times of prosperity and innovation. Human beings have achieved great things through cooperation. That's our nature, and innovation is not an exemption from this rule. It comes from an ability of people to freely exchange their ideas, plans, and resources. Your own ideas are often triggered by other people's ideas. We understand ourselves much better through expressing and discussing our thoughts with others. Despite what you've probably believed, innovation doesn't happen because of just few geniuses that came up with something new. Instead, it happens as a long-term process of combining people who had iterations of ideas and features based on trials and errors, with no real breakthrough moment. Unless you have been living in a box for the last year, you must have heard of ChatGPT, which was released last year in November. It seemed like it just popped out of nowhere, and most people haven't heard of large language-based models before. Even though it seemed like a giant breakthrough which happened instantly, ChatGPT is a great example of a common innovation pattern. Chatbots like ChatGPT have been under development and progress for many years, and many companies have been working on the technology, while exchanging ideas and talent with each other. There is no single person who developed this new product. Instead, it's a reflection of the progress made by the whole industry. OpenAI just happened to be the company who were able to properly introduce the product to the public sphere. A new invention is incredible, but an innovation is something much more profound and brings much more benefit to our lives. Innovation is a process of turning a new invention into something actually practical, affordable, and reliable. Something that actually benefits the public sphere, which people need and want to acquire. Ideas are great, but the most brilliant ones are probably dead in the graveyard. They have never been executed. It is much more important to make an idea practical, and that's what entrepreneurs do, and that is why they're so valuable and fundamental to a successful society. If you don't have entrepreneurs, you are in big trouble. The main requirement for innovation is a free society, which is creative and doesn't live in lies, fear, and anxiety, as living in such negative states prevents people from creativity. It prevents them from letting their mind wander and be open to possibilities. Innovation tends to be extremely geographically dense throughout the course of all human history. At one time it was the ancient Greece, then China during the Song Dynasty, Renaissance Italy, Britain, and the latest California. If there's no right environment for innovation, it will die, cease to exist, stagnate sometimes even for hundreds of years like during the Dark Ages. War seemed to never stop, and most people had only one thought in their mind: to survive. In such a place, there can't be any innovation or creativity. Fortunately, the Italian city-states were able to keep their openness in thought and creativity, so innovation stayed alive. If they didn't, however, perhaps the process of innovation in Europe would be forgotten completely. Close-mindedness, authoritarianism, totalitarianism, and restriction are the killers and destroyers of human innovation. The Chinese Golden Age during the Song Dynasty was characterized by a greater degree of freedom of expression compared to other dynasties. This freedom was evident in the flourishing of literature, philosophy, and art. Scholars, poets, and writers were able to express their ideas and creativity without as much censorship or fear of persecution. As a result, innovations such as printing, gunpowder, and the compass revolutionized various aspects of Chinese society, from printing books to improving military capabilities and navigation. This all ceased to exist when the restrictive authoritarian regime of the Ming Dynasty took over and killed the Chinese Golden Age. Innovation of Abbasid Arabia, which was characterized by advances in math and science, literature, and new irrigation techniques, was destroyed when the state's religious structure turned to being very close-minded. Innovation comes from an unregulated place rather than central government planning. In the old world, there was always somewhere to go. Innovation was kept alive because innovators moved from close-minded states to places more free and favorable for innovation. Now, in our modern world, however, when we are seeing many governments and big corporations wanting to implement aspects of global centralized oppressive planning, there might be nowhere to go, and this poses a very dangerous threat to innovation. Innovation requires connecting, combining, merging, and bringing everything together. Zuckerberg was not the first to create a social network. Musk was not the first to create an electric vehicle, and Steve Jobs did not create a new computer interface, where instead of using different commands, people would click with the mouse. Instead, what brings all these innovators together is their ability to connect the dots. They turn new inventions into practicable innovations which people really desired. Innovation is something that keeps our modern capitalist economy from being controlled by giant monopolies. There will always be startups. Again and again, great innovators come from obscure origins, and big companies are too formal and bureaucratic, but also too comfortable and confident in their position to see the upcoming danger in the form of another great innovation. Innovation does not lead to destruction. Instead, the more we innovate and create, the less resources we tend to need and the less land we need. The reason that more than 7 billion people are able to live on Earth right now is because of innovation. If we were to speed up the creation and application of knowledge through innovation, we would be able to solve all of humanity's problems. Our potential is only bound by the laws of the universe, and there's an infinite amount of progress to be made. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.